AI in one way or another. Maybe it's ChatGPT helping draft emails. Maybe it's an AI assistant that summarizes documents or helps to rewrite documents or generates marketing content. But here's the thing, the next wave of AI isn't just about tools that answer questions. We're entering a new phase where AI doesn't just respond, it actually will take action. Imagine an AI that can check inventory, contact suppliers, place orders, notify your team of updates, update your CRM, all without somebody manually guiding every step. That's exactly where things are heading with something called Agentic AI. And we'll be discussing that today in our topics. Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Kinnett, CEO and founder of Eternal Networks. And here at Eternal Networks, we believe in empowering people and businesses with the knowledge that they need to succeed. So every Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific, I go live on all of our socials to discuss different educational and technology topics that are aimed to empower others. Here at Eternal Networks, we're dedicated to creating safe and secure environments for businesses to thrive in doing what they love and helping to educate others on technology, especially on cybersecurity. And AI is a huge and a key part of our mission. At the end of the live stream, I'll make sure to answer questions from the audience. So if you have any related to today's topic or just technology in general, please throw them in the comments at any time, and I'll make sure to take some time at the end. All the introductions being done, let's get on to today's topic. Most people are familiar with AI chatbots at this point. You ask it a question, gives you an answer. Maybe it writes something for you. Maybe it summarizes information or helps you brainstorm ideas. Even if you're not using ChatGPT or any of the other big names, if you're just using Google searches, you're probably getting the same results because you've noticed at the top, Google's starting to have some AI summary and things to help answer your questions, right? So it's becoming more prevalent. And if you're not using it daily, you're probably using it weekly. And if you're not, somebody on your team is. But all of these options, right? ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Claude, right? These are mostly pretty much just reactive, right? You ask it a question, you get a response. That's reactive AI. The next evolution is something called Agentic AI. And the difference is huge. Instead of waiting for instructions, these systems are designed to pursue a goal and complete multi-step tasks on their own. Think of the difference like this. A chatbot is a tool that you use. An AI agent is more like a digital team member that you delegate work to. An AI agent can plan a sequence of actions. It can use tools and software and interact with those. It can access business systems, execute workflows. It can report results back to you or your team. In other words, instead of just helping with tasks, AI is starting to do the work itself. So let's bring this down to something practical. Imagine an AI agent that monitors your inventory levels. When supplies run low, it could check your preferred suppliers. It could compare pricing or delivery times. It could even place an order within very strict approved limits. It could update your accounting system and then notify your team of all the tasks that have been done automatically, right? No one had to stop what they were doing to manage it. This kind of automation can remove the repetitive bottlenecks that slow small teams down and can also introduce costly human errors. And the real benefit isn't in replacing your team. It's freeing them up to focus on other more important things like strategy, like customer relationships, right? Be a better human, right? Have more time to really develop those customer relationships because you don't have to deal with all the remedial tasks, right? They can focus on more creative work and problem solving, the work that actually grows the business. Now, here's the important part. Agentic AI is very powerful, but it amplifies whatever system it touches. If your processes are organized, efficient, and well documented, AI can multiply that efficiency. But if your workflows are messy or inconsistent, AI can multiply the chaos just as quickly. And that's why preparation matters. Before businesses start deploying AI agents, they should focus on 3 key areas. And I'm going to go over those in detail right now. Step 1, you got to clean and organize your data. AI systems rely entirely on the information that they're given. So if your data is incomplete, inconsistent, or outdated, the AI's decision is going to reflect that. Think of it as the classic rule that you've probably heard, right, when technology, garbage in, garbage out. If you're giving it garbage data, it's going to make decisions on that garbage data, and the results are going to be just like that, garbage. So it's important that you start by auditing things in your systems like customer records, financial data, your inventory systems, operational databases. The cleaner that your data is today, the more reliable AI is going to become tomorrow. All right, step number 2, you got to document your workflows. This is important, right? You have to understand how your business actually operates. If a process exists only in your head or one of your team members' heads, automation becomes extremely difficult to implement with AI, really any kind of automation. So you got to take the time now to map out your workflows clearly. Document things like what triggers the process, what gets it started, right? What steps happen and in what order, and what different systems are involved in that process. Where are approvals required? Who approves things? Think of it as all of the steps that you would need to train a new staff member, right? If you were hiring somebody to take over a process from you, you would need to document this process in a way that you could train that new hire to follow that process. If a human can't follow the process step by step, an AI agent's not going to be able to either. So this is extremely critical. And I would say, even if you're not thinking you're going to implement Agentic AI, it's still a good business practice to have your processes documented in workflows, so that if, so-and-so's sick for an extended period of time and he's the only one that knew the process, well, that puts you in a bad spot, right? If it's documented clearly, anybody can step in and help out. Makes training better, makes everything, and it also sets you up for the possibilities of using AI agents in the future. All right, this leads us to our last step for preparing for Agentic AI. And I don't want to say this is the most important one, but this is a critical one. You have to build guardrails. You have to build oversight. This is the final piece, right? It's governance. If you're going to give an AI system the ability to take actions in your business systems, you need very, very clear rules. This is so critical. I'm going to say that again, right? You need extremely specific rules that are very clear to follow and that cannot be misunderstood. That includes defining things like, what decisions can the AI make on its own? When human approval is required, who's giving that approval, right? When does that take place? What about spending limits for any financial actions, right? If you're going to automate transfers of funds from one account to your payroll account or something, or if you're going to authorize it to submit orders from your distributors, right? What are the limits on those financial transactions? Or do you even not want them doing any financial transactions, right? Maybe that's the guardrail. Which systems the AI is going to be able to access and which systems it should never access. These are all part of the things that need to be thought out and planned in building those guardrails. In cybersecurity, we call this the principle of least privilege. You don't give a new employee keys to everything on day one, right? You don't give them admin access to everything in your business. You don't give them all the bank accounts, the financial data. you control that, right? You give them limited controls as you build trust with them and as you train them, and then maybe over time you give them more. The same should apply to AI. Clear guardrails keep automation helpful instead of risky. And all of these steps should be completed before starting to implement any AI agents in order to have success. So the big takeaway here is really that the future of AI in business isn't chatbots. It isn't prompts. It isn't the ability for your team to get answers faster. It's systems that can run workflows and complete tasks for you and for your team. For small and mid-sized businesses, that's a massive opportunity. AI agents can work around the clock. They can reduce administrative overhead. They can speed up your operations, eliminate repetitive bottlenecks. And I would also say eliminate, the repetitive tasks that could have human error. But the companies that benefit most aren't necessarily going to be the ones who adopt AI first. They're the ones that are going to prepare their systems and processes first and implement AI effectively, efficiently, and smartly. Because when your workflows are organized and your data is clean, that's when AI becomes a multiplier of success. If you're starting to think about how AI might fit into your business, hopefully this has got some of the wheels turning, right? You're thinking like, man, there's some things that once this agent AI thing starts working that could help me, right? If you're starting to think about that, the most important thing you can do right now is not rush into picking a tool, right? The important thing is making sure that your technology environment, your workflows, your security controls, your data is ready for it. Now, I'm not saying like, don't look at tools and don't start implementing things, like, yes, there's a time and a place for that. And maybe now is the time for your business. But if you rush into it unprepared, you're either going to get frustrated and give up on it before you start seeing the benefits, or it's going to be a multiplier for chaos, right? Like I talked about in the beginning. So want to make sure that you're prepared for that. At Eternal Networks, we spend a lot of time helping businesses prepare for these kinds of technology shifts, right? Whether it's organizing their systems, improving security, moving to the cloud, or identifying workflows that might make sense to automate. If you'd like to talk through what AI adoption could realistically look like in your business, whether that's implementing custom chatbots or preparing for agentic AI, I would love to have a one-on-one conversation with you. You'll see a link on the screen below, and there'll be a link as well in the chat, in the comments there, if you'd like to schedule a conversation with me. I truly enjoy talking tech and strategy with other business leaders. That's one of the main reasons I got into this, right? Is because I love talking technology and helping use technology to improve businesses. All right, let's see if we have any questions from our live audience. I don't see any questions that popped up in here. I will say that the streaming platform that we use, some of the places like YouTube, right, that doesn't feed the questions into me. So if you've asked a question live on YouTube or some of the other platforms that maybe aren't feeding into me, I'll make sure to go and respond to those via text back to you. And if you are watching this after the fact and have any questions, I promise I will get back to you and get those things answered as quick as possible. Thanks for joining and for watching this. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Whatever platform you're on, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment, even if it's just like, hey, that's pretty cool, right? Any comment or question or thoughts that you might have, we appreciate that. It helps us to build our audience and also helps us to create more content, right, that's valuable to you. Don't forget, you can also subscribe to all of our channels. And remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to help you to navigate the world of technology, cybersecurity, and AI. If you need any further assistance, you can reach out to me via DM, or you can find all of our contact information as well as information about our services on our website. You can get there by going to itnet.works. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week.